So good morning everybody, myself Acharya Vishevndra. So I was just saying that the fundamental laws which are being derived, which has been verified, they have to be accepted by us as it is, without criticizing them, without questioning them, because everybody has to believe what is done experimentally and for which patents have been made globally. So you study physics in UK, US, India, Kazakhstan, Europe, Russia. The law is same everywhere. So the derived laws, the laws, which are being accepted by society as a whole, you have to accept them as it is. Although there is always a chance of improvement, but the things which are being published, the things which are being authorized, the things which are being patented, you have to accept them as it is, because it is highly authentic thing. You can't question the authenticity of that. So the task, the process used to learn the fundamental laws or the fundamental concepts is that you have to accept them as it is and just repeat things again and again, assuming them to be true. If you are skeptical, you can do your own experiments. And truth is something which is not yours or mine or Albert Einstein's or Newton's. It's same for everybody. So if something is true, let anybody to do any experiment. Ultimate conclusion will be support that experiment. So we should not get into the trap of proving something or disproving something. We should just use the standard facts to solve our questions in exams and to move ahead in life. That is how to deal with that emotional thing. Because when you will try to learn something new, the first reaction of the analytical mind brain is it will ask for the proofs. That is basically mind mapping, and that is basically the function of mind brain system, to assume that I can accept some information only if it is within my mind brain system. But that is opposite to learning. Just observe yourself what you know. You are a little organism in the entire cosmos. And whatever you think you know is because of information you receive through the five senses, through the books majorly, or by observing the universe. So how many observations you can make in a lifespan of, let's say, 60 to 70 years? The universe started billions of years ago. So do you think that you can know everything that happened during the span of billions of years within a span of 50 to 60 years if you devote your entire life to just observing nature? So I hope you are getting the point. So thing is that life has a fundamental purpose of survival, and if you want to survive, then right now you are preparing for any exam, and your fundamental task is to solve questions in that exam. So that this fundamental task should be remembered, that we are not here to authorize laws or to authenticate them. We are here to learn those laws, to put that information, the classified information in our mind brain system, and to use them in exams. So that is the line track on which we are working. However, if you are interested to fundamentally derive certain laws, then you just choose another stream. You should go to the research work and PhD. There is another pathway to this. But as per the competitive exams are concerned, they are solely developed with the psychological training programs, with the psychological patterns that test your ability to perform within a limited span of time, to use the already existing information and to map the correct pattern out of them. So these two are different things. So make sure that if you are interested to derive something fundamental, or you are just interested to crack an exam and move ahead in life, live a quality life, enjoy your life, and earn name, fame, and money. So that's the fundamental difference between the two things. So here the thing is that the fundamental laws or the fundamental facts, you have to remember them as it is. Use your memory, use repetition again and again, without going into the loophole of proving or disproving that, because it's not going to work for you. Now thing is that if we analyze the memories, there are, suppose you study from some source, so that you interact with some source, and because of that there is information involved. That information goes to the working memory. So from the working memory it goes to the second level of memory, and from here to third level of memory, second level being short term and third level being long term. So through your interaction with the environment, there is just exchange of information, and that exchange information gets stored within your mind brain system. Firstly, from the working memory to the short term, and from the short term to the long term. So here the key is to retain that information, and that retention is important, which is fundamental to the process for which we are preparing. For that, you can do one thing. There is a mind based information. So here is the concept of electric field due to hollow sphere conducting a sphere. So it is till in the inside of the sphere it's 0, and outside it varies as 1 by r square. Whereas for a solid sphere, it's directly proportional to the radius internally, and again it's proportional to 1 by r square externally. So these are the facts and mind map based information, because these are proved by various experiments. By deriving them, it's very possible. So but this is the fundamental, this is the deduced information which is achieved by after a long time of solving questions, doing calculations, doing this and that. But this final information should be retained by you as it is, and if you are able to do that, then you will be able to perform better in exams. Because fundamentally studying means learning certain neural patterns, storing the final classified information in your mind brain system, and use them as and when needed, instead of going into the complex process of analyzing, calculating this and that until and unless needed. So the fundamental difference is fetching neural patterns from the source of information and use them as and when needed. Next is the structure of the brain. So here is the structure of the brain. So one thing is that you need to have patience for that also, because brain has got different parts, and different parts operates at different frequencies, and when a certain part of the brain is active, you will feel something different. Sometimes you will feel like knowing everything, having the proof of everything which existed. But if you keep on focusing in that same mental level, you will have an amazing experience that you don't know anything. Even the name that you have, you are not sure that whether you have the same parents, because you don't have proof of that. Suppose you say your father is Mr. X, mother is Mrs. Y, but do you know it, or do you just believe it? I hope you are getting the point. So to live in life, you need to believe certain things. There are certain things which are beyond analysis, because if you analyze those things, then life will be very difficult for you. So we are fundamentally constrained by the feasibility of life, by the physical dimensions of life, and we need to manage the thinking process between the physical and the metaphysical dimensions, because if it's not managed, then it will be having catastrophic impacts. You will say anything, you will have any thinking process, but you will not be able to achieve name, fame and money, and that will create a very negative feeling in you, and you will feel like your entire life is exhausted. So life is about creating something which is of use to the society as a whole. Only then you'll get certain respect, or a certain you'll be able to get name, fame and money. And that is also the requirement of the mind brain system. After a certain time, you want that people recognize you for your talent. There is a self-esteem involved. You want to be praised by the people. So that is what you can analyze about your own mind brain system. So we should work keeping in mind the functionalities of our own mind brain system, also the inner instincts inside us, the impact of it, ego and superego on us, and we need to manage all of them in a synchronized way, because if not managed, then things will be very difficult for us. So for that you need to have patience, as I said earlier. So you need to have patience for multiple steps processing. So whatever you learn is basically comprising of, the first thing is the fundamental facts, which you have to memorize as it is. Then you need to have certain things which you can analyze, the concepts which are explained over there. In the concepts only the factual information is not going to work. You need to think, you need to analyze. For example, if I say you that a block is kept on a surface and the coefficient of friction is 0.5, mass of the block is, let's say, 10 kg, then what is the minimum force to move the block? Point number 1. Point number 2, what is acceleration if force is greater than F0? And question number 3, what is acceleration if F is less than F0? So to solve this question, for the first question you need to have certain facts, which is f is equals to mu into n. So from there you can calculate the value of f naught. So the first question involves use of certain fundamental facts. So using this you can solve it out. But the second question, that what will be acceleration for f greater than f naught, make you to analyze the situation. It's not a information based question, it's testing of your analysis system. So we can say that the block will move when f is greater than f naught. So if we draw the free body diagram of the body, we can say that net force will be f minus the limiting friction, which is equal to m into a. So from there you can calculate the acceleration. So the second question involves use of factual information plus an analysis. So it's a multi-step process. It's a, you can say that the two-step process is needed over there. Similarly, in the third question, when f is less than f naught, you need to analyze that. Then when force is less than f naught, the body will not move, so acceleration will be zero. So it simply explains that when we solve a particular problem, then there is involvement of different parts of the brain, different processes are involved. Factual questions are single step questions, they are based on memory, and if you are good with memory, you will be able to solve them out. Then coming to the advanced questions. Advanced questions means they are multi-step questions. They involves, obviously the factual information is needed in any question. Then they need an analysis, a graphical analysis, a mathematical analysis, conceptual analysis. There are multiple steps involved, and larger the number of steps, more complex is the problem. And the thing is that when you involve yourself into the multi-step process, then there is a chance of interference between the different the processes. So you need to make a queue in series to process every single process, because human mind-brain system is not designed for parallel processing. If I ask you that you simultaneously learn and sing and say, you will not be able to do that. So what you do is you just need to put the processes in a sequence and then work on each process simultaneously, giving a time gap between the different processes. So that explains the concept of multiple processing. So if you want to go for multiple processing, the first thing is be mentally prepared for that.